Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be covering how to play Horizon in Season 9. I'll be showing you that she is still a top tier legend despite her recent nerfs, and I'm going to get into the upcoming buff Respawn has planned for her in Season 10. So whether you're brand new to playing Horizon, or you used to play her and you don't think she's that good anymore, I will be showing you everything there is to know about playing Horizon, so let's get into the video. Alright, first let's go over how Horizon was nerfed at the beginning of this season, just to give you all some context. Her tactical got hit really hard. They reduced the gravity speed lift by 30%. They reduced the side-to-side acceleration so you can't really strafe on top of the gravity lift anymore. They limited the time you can sit at the top of the gravity lift to only 2 seconds. And they increased the cooldown of her tactical from 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Now I know a lot of people think this was super harsh, and to be fair, it was. But only because we got used to the previous version of her tactical, which was way too overpowered. The devs knew they released her OP, and they admitted to that. They did not want another underwhelming legend on release like Rampart, Loba, or Revenant. Why they took 2 full seasons to nerf her tactical is way beyond me. They slightly nerfed Horizon's cooldown on it in Season 8, but that's all they really did for her tactical until the beginning of Season 9. They also nerfed the cooldown on her ultimate in the middle of Season 8 to 3 minutes. Now that her tactical has a balanced cooldown, I think they could increase the lift speed by like 10% or so. But I don't want her old tactical back. It was way too free and way too often of just an OP ability for a tactical. It made legends like Pathfinder even more useless. Why learn to grapple on a roof and make sure you can hit that grapple when you can use Horizon's tactical for you and your entire team? See, when they buff legends, they inadvertently nerf them. And I'll get into this more later, but that's why Horizon doesn't feel as strong, because we have legends like Octane and Valkyrie in the meta. Now I'm going to go over Horizon's abilities and discuss with you how to properly use them. First, let's start off with her passive, the Spacewalk. This increases her air control and reduces her fall impact. So instead of falling and breaking your ankles, which is the little jolt you feel when you drop from height, Horizon has a very smooth transition, which is one of the best passes in the game if I do say so myself. This passive obviously pairs very well with her tactical, because when she is falling from height off of her gravity lift, she has no slowdown from the landing. This passive also applies for when she falls from any sort of high ground, whether it's a building, a cliff, anything like that. It doesn't have to be her tactical. So with that being said, now let's move on to her tactical, the gravity lift. The first thing you should know is that her tactical lasts for 10 seconds, but the cooldown on the tactical begins once the 10 seconds has elapsed. So the 20-second cooldown I mentioned before, that doesn't begin until the gravity lift is basically over with. This was another balanced change they made, I think, during Season 8. Some of the best ways to use this gravity lift is going to be to take high ground and to reposition so you're a harder target to hit. The great thing about her tactical is your whole team can utilize it, which is a very unique thing for a tactical on a mobility legend. This can be great to full send a team when they have high ground and you guys need to quickly close the gap to them. I always make sure to communicate with my teammates that I'm about to use my Q so that they're prepared and nearby to take it. I don't want 2 of us taking it and the third one not getting there in that 10-second duration and missing out and not being able to fight with us on high ground. I also like to use it if I need to work an angle where someone is on low ground and I want to immediately take high ground, because this ability is great for that. You can take the gravity lift up and get some advantageous shots on your opponent, but it can be difficult to hit them while going up the lift. Even with the lift being slower now, it is still pretty hard to hit accurate shots while you're going up it and moving left to right. And on the flip side, when someone is taking a lift and you're trying to track them while they're going up it, that can also be hard. The movement isn't 100% predictable, and unless someone has a great angle and is fairly up close, this is going to be a pretty hard target to hit. It definitely takes some getting used to, and keep in mind, once you're at the top of the gravity lift, you only get 2 seconds up there before it will kick you off. You can still take the lift to heal and pop a battery, which is also another great tactic for this ability, but just keep in mind you cannot sit on top of it like you previously could have. Her tactical is still very strong. It's just not as good as it once was, but I think that's because we got so used to it being so good. Now listen, I know a lot of you will disagree with me and say that she was never that OP, or she just isn't good anymore, but I'll be straight up here and tell you neither are true. Her previous version of her tactical, as I said, was way too OP. I mean, you could take the gravity lift and instantly be on high ground. You could come back down, take it again, or you could just be mid-fight, throw your Q down, float up in the air, pop a shield battery, come back down, kill your opponent. There were a ton of ridiculous things you could get away with on that previous version, and I'm glad they balanced it out. This newer version is still really good, but you just can't get away with all that other stuff that used to fly in the previous seasons. You have to be much more calculated now when you use it. and that promotes more of a balanced game in my opinion. Now I'd like to go over a couple advanced tips for using Horizon's Q that will also show gameplay that backs it up. One is when a teammate is knocked, you can use her Q to get them closer to you. I have a couple examples here, and one is where somebody is knocked at the bottom of the zipline building. Now, if you know this terrain well, you know there's no way that person can climb to any safe spot. So I throw my Q down, and they're able to float up to the floor that I'm on, and I'm able to revive them. Another example is when I throw my Q down on my knocked teammate at Fight Night, and I don't have an angle on the opponents that knocked him, but I am able to get him closer to me with my gravity lift, which draws the opponents out, and then I am able to pull off a 1v3. The other advanced tip for the gravity lift I have for you is you can use it to block off entry and exit points, specifically doorways. Now, it will be impossible for enemies to maneuver through a confined space like a doorway when a gravity lift is in the way. If you need to buy time to heal, do this. Or if you want to force your opponent to go in a specific direction, do this. And while they're going in that preferred direction, you should be looking to hold an advantageous angle on them, and I recommend trying this out. You will see how well it worked out for me in this clip here. Now let's go over ultimate, which is called the black hole, and it basically sucks your opponents in and their movement becomes very limited and their aim becomes less accurate. It lasts for 12 seconds once it hits the ground from after you've launched it, and as I said before, it's on a 3-minute cooldown, which is fairly long. Now this ultimate is a solid A or B tier. It takes some skill with timing and placement, and those are going to be the biggest two factors when using your ultimate. And here's why. You want to be able to capitalize on enemies when they are slowed down by your ultimate. The best thing to do is stack grenades, and specifically arc stars when you play Horizon. You want to pair arc stars with her ultimate. If you don't pair it with arc stars, then the second best way to use it is going to be to use it as a trap. Throw it at them, have them get sucked in, and be fairly close and beam them while they try to shoot the ultimate and destroy it. Now the reason I say carry grenades and arc stars is because that's something you can control. But if you're playing with friends and you want to be a little bit more coordinated, you can certainly pair her ultimate with other damage dealing abilities in the game. Things like a caustic ult, Gibby ult, fuse tactical, fuse ult, things like that. Anything that will mess them up, leave them sort of helpless, and then allow you to get a huge advantage on them and take them out. Alright guys, and the last thing I wanted to cover in this video is the upcoming buff for Horizon. Now we know very little at this time. All that has been confirmed is from this tweet from Josh Medina, who is one of the lead developers over at Apex Legends. He just said to Draynilla that she has something in the oven, meaning a buff is coming, and with the timing of the tweet and the emoji, I'm assuming it will be at the beginning of Season 10. If I had to guess, it's got to be a slight buff to her tactical. There's no way they're going to do anything to her ultimate. At least that's just common sense. I could be wrong, and more will certainly be revealed within the next month, but I have to imagine it's regarding the gravity lift. And if you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my next upload. And if you're interested in improving at Apex or learning how to build a YouTube channel, check out the link in the description to my Fiverr profile, and I will catch you guys on my next upload. Peace.